Hi there, fellow Earthlings and possible extraterrestrials. You're about to experience PCP, the Purple City Podcast, Pop and Culture. The podcast where you get to hear Jonas Strassel discuss with the guest his number one passions, film and music with them. So chill out, dig the scenes with your gangster leans, and let your mind go as you experience the effects of the Purple City Podcast. Dig it! All right, you're listening to the Purple City Podcast. I have today with me in the studio a good friend of mine, Brent Schaffner.
Hello.
Hello.
Thanks
How's it
for
going?
having me on.
Oh, no problem. You're my
bad.
first guest after a little bit of the changes in the podcast. This was originally a movie / pop culture sort of discussion thing going on, but yeah, that was changed pretty quickly as a lot of people would have a hard time talking about that or staying on topic for a whole podcast. I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people have a lot better stories they'd like to tell or something. Which, we did have originally a guest planned today to tell us some great stories involving his grandmother and some issues involving her. But unfortunately, he was canceled, so possibly in the future, we will have him on. His name is Brandon Nagrich. He's funny guy. So today I was thinking we might do a little bit of a folk fest prep podcast so we can talk about some of the things we need, possibly listen back onto it as like sort of a referencing list for shit we need. Like, okay, like number one thing, I'll just start off with the obvious. A little bit of a backstory of what Folk Fest is. It's a Winnipeg folk festival. It is a few days of camping and music, where a lot of crazy things can happen at Folk Fest. I've only gone once personally. I know you have been a couple times.
Oh yeah, this will be my third year. I cannot wait.
Oh, it's like, it feels like home Folk Fest when I was there. I felt
bare
so right.
feet in the grass with nature.
Oh, at least this year, there's one thing I'm going to need. I need to bring my flip-flops.
Oh, I brought flip-flops last year. I made sure I bought a pair just for Folk Fest last year.
The second I saw you with flip-flops, I was like, no, shit. That's the one thing I really forgot.
Yeah, I was not wearing socks.
Yeah, because I walked around basically barefoot the entire, 5 days?
I think it was 4 days with the camp. No, 4 days of music.
Yeah, 4 days of music.
5 days of camping.
5 days of camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 nights, I guess.
Yeah, well, you do come earlier in the day. Like, usually you want to show up around, what time did we leave last year? 6 o'clock?
The gates open at, I think they open at 7 or 6 or 7, I forget. But we left 15 minutes before because we wanted to get there just for the opening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that line was still huge. We had a 2-hour wait still. Oh, yeah.
It was a long wait to get, since I was in the passenger seat, I was able to pregame a little bit for Folk Fest, have a couple beers on the ride. No one seemed to care. Security looked at me. Everyone just likes to make sure that everyone's having a good, safe time at Folk Fest.
Remember the woman that was, this could have been the year before, but there's a car pulled right into the side where the vehicles are moving past to get to the parking area. There's a woman. She hopped out of her car. She started going to the washroom right there in the center of everything. Were you there for that, or was that a different year? I think that was the first year.
Yeah, that must have been the first year. That was something I would remember.
It was funny. We were...
That's a great introduction to Folk Fest. It's like, wow, look at that. I'm home now.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, we were just waiting there, look to our left. Oh, wow, what?
Yeah, my sort of introduction like that is also in the car lineup. I got out of the car and I kind of looked around, and first thing I see is a guy in a tie-dye shirt laying on top of his vehicle, like staring at the sky, just playing a song on his guitar, and I'm like, wow. This is going to be a fun 5 days.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Another thing I need to remember to bring next year, I'm not going to fuck this up this time. I need to bring 4 packs of cigarettes.
4 packs? You don't want a longboard again?
No, I'm not going down that road again. Oh, no, I do not need any more Folk Fest scars. Yeah, last year I ran out first 2 packs, first 2 days. I thought 2 packs would be enough. I'm not that heavy of a smoker. No, when you're outdoors that long and the amount of people who were buying cigarettes off me,
Oh, well, yeah.
I had a full, almost full, 2.6 of Jägermeister traded to me for a single smoke, which I then felt a little bit bad about it later and told her, like, you can have this back. I feel really bad, but then I don't know, I spent about a good minute looking at her with that Jägermeister next to her, and I kind of missed it, like just knowing that it was mine. So then I said, well, would you trade me that back for another cigarette? Yeah, she did.
Yeah, there was a couple bottles that like our group got last year.
Yeah, I got a nice bottle from Negi too.
Oh, yeah.
The guest who was supposed to be on today with us, he offered me one for a little bit, and I don't know, I just somehow ended up with a 3/4 bottle of vodka from him too.
Yeah,
Ended up bringing it all home.
Yeah, didn't you come home with more liquor than
Yeah,
going there?
Yeah, my mom's like, wow, you left with a lot of liquor, like 2 bottles, and then came back with about 4. They all had some missing, but I had more bottles than I left with for sure. Oh man, what other thing? I also have these nice little cool towel things. I'm not exactly too sure what they are. I got them for Christmas as a gift for Folk Fest.
Oh, is it just this like little string thing?
No, it's kind of looks like a long wet blue towel. Apparently, you just wrap it around your head. Like you wet it and you wrap it around
how
your
big
head,
is
but
it?
it stays cool and it's
How big is
supposed to.
it?
I'm not sure. I got like a whole big tube of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I got something for Christmas too, because we were going to go to Jamaica.
Mhm.
So my dad got us this as like a little stocking stuffer.
Mm-hmm.
It's a headband, but it's got these beads in them that stay like wet and cool.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, you just wet it and it's supposed to stay there for like hours on end, just cool.
That might be the same thing that I got
Yeah,
too.
that's why I
But
was
like a different brand, possibly.
Yeah, that's why I was asking like what it was like and
Yeah,
shit,
I
'cause
haven't
I
really
cannot wait
examined
to
it.
use it.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring it to Jamaica.
Well, yeah, last year, like that's perfect for you, especially. I remember you all the time having like a soaking wet T-shirt wrapped around your head or like wrapped around your neck and shoulders because it
yeah.
was ridiculously
That was one of the
hot last year.
hottest. That was twice as hot as the year before. Well,
What was it? It had to have
felt
been
like-
38 degrees
it was
every day,
steady 30s and sunny.
baking in the sun, just baking
I'm so
in the
happy
sun.
we had that large tent fly that like we can actually sit in to protect us.
Oh.
How nice was that?
Oh,
Yeah.
even if no one was in there, I would go to the tent, sit down, and just be like, oh, and kind of like lean back and just exotically feel the breeze against my skin because it was so
I think
perfect.
that's why I didn't get sunburned last year, is because I was usually under the mesh. But that and
I'm
the
shocked
spritzer.
I didn't get sunburnt last year.
But think about it. We had the spritzer too. I think Keith
The mister?
The Mister, yes, that's what it's called. I forgot. But God, I'm bringing my own this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not a huge fan of the mister. I like to be teased with it a little bit, get it in, but I'm not a fan of just soaking myself in water. Like I hate walking around in wet clothes.
Oh,
I fucking can't stand
That's why I wore shorts and had a wet. My shirt was never on my body if it was hot out. It was always on my head.
Yeah, Folk Fest is a place like
You
I'm
do
not
not wear
someone I'm
shirts.
not someone who walks around shirtless normally because I'm not the most in shape. But
Well, yeah.
at Folk Fest, man, I was quite a bit. I was walking around shirtless. I didn't give a fuck. It just felt right.
Yeah, well, you kind of got to. You feel all closer to nature almost. The more like you feel more natural in a way almost.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Wow. What I'm gonna definitely need to bring some smarter food. I'm not bringing any more frickin' munchies. Last year,
Munchies?
my
Oh,
munchies got eaten by
cannot,
everybody
Like,
else.
do not bring like maybe a bag of chips or something.
I'll bring
like
some
that.
Chicago mix, but that is mine.
yeah.
That is hidden
You
in the
have
corner
to.
of my tent.
Like bring a bowl for that too. So when you pull it out and there's like a group of people, you only have a bowl and you can say, "Oh, I'm sorry,
bowl.
I only brought like this much."
Yes, that is a perfect idea. Bring a
Yeah.
bowl. Write that one down. Definitely gonna have to stock up. Yeah, again at the LC, you saw something perfect for me. I'm gonna get probably a big, like not the 40,
The
the
bigger
size
one?
above a 40. Whether those are 60s or
Yeah,
something.
60s. Yeah, those are 60s, I think.
I'm gonna have to grab a 60 of Polar Ice because it comes in that plastic ball. They
Oh,
don't even
that's
allow
right.
glass at Folk Fest. Somehow
Yeah.
I snuck some into last year, but they don't really
Well,
check you
yeah,
hardcore.
they don't check your stuff. It's just so like if anything breaks, you don't have like a bunch of glass in the ground.
Yeah, and you
Because,
can be
well,
held
yeah.
responsible for it then
Oh,
too,
yeah, well,
because it
also-
says it's on the
Mhm.
website, all the rules and
Yeah,
whatnot.
and think of all the people who walk around like barefoot and stuff. That would just ruin my
Oh.
folk fest. Getting like a piece of glass in your foot would ruin my folk fest. Like I
Stepping
would
on
not be
shit.
able to handle
That is why I was getting so pissed off at people, especially some of the girls that were hanging around your tents.
Oh,
When I was finding cigarette butts around my tent,
Grace and Ryan.
yeah, Grace and Ryan, man, I would. I was trying not to say names, but it looks like fuck it, we're saying names on here now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was stepping in her, especially Ryan's cigarettes. Cause I was always barefoot and I'd have like a little cigarette button between my toes. I would freak out. Who's throwing out these
Oh.
cigarette butts on here?
They
They
give ashtrays.
They give us pocket ashtrays for a reason.
That actually makes me kind of mad because that's the whole reason they spend so much money probably on that shit.
That was the first time I have ever heard of a pocket ashtray or even seen one. They started handing them out for free.
I love that idea.
I think the government should be handing those out to every smoker.
I think
Like you should mandatorily have those on you.
Oh well, yeah. I think like convenience stores and stuff like that. If they sell cigarettes, they should probably sell these ashtrays too. Like imagine.
No.
like, you
They
just
should give them
charge $1.
free with the pack.
I don't think they would do that. They'd have.
They have to.
They would raise the price of cigarettes then.
No, but those Folk Fest ashtrays are made by an actual company
Mm-hmm.
that it's
Yeah.
like all volunteer or something, or they're like all free, whatnot. Like they don't take money. Cause
Yeah, well, they're donated product. Yeah, I guess they might.
yeah,
do that.
they're all about it saving the environment. Those
Mhm.
things are the
whole-
best
yeah,
idea.
The whole thing is just to like protect the environment and make sure you don't get cigarettes between your toes.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what a pocket ashtray is, basically they're handing out two types of ones. There was one that was kind of like a little tin case, almost like one of those mint cases where there's a little ridge on the top, and you kind of have to like slide your finger on it to open it. Kind of like it just slides out and pops out, and then you got a little square like for your mints there. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but then you could toss your button there and just close it up. You don't even.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
almost
even
like an
supposed.
Altoids container.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not even supposed to put your cigarettes out. You just put it in there lit, and it puts it out for you by cutting off all the oxygen.
Oh,
Or there's
yeah.
another one that's like a little pouch that you just like open up the little lid, put it in, close the pouch, put it back in your pocket. It might be a little warm, but that's it. There's no scared feeling of like it lighting on fire or anything.
Oh yeah, and they hold a lot too.
Yeah, when I brought those home and showed my parents who are also smokers, they were like, "What? I've never. This is the best idea
Oh,
ever."
yeah.
Like they were
Keeps it so clean.
amazed by it.
I like the pouches better than the.
Oh, easily,
plastic
easy. Because
ones.
the plastic ones get all, or the tin ones, they get all
Yeah.
like dirty and kind of stink and shit.
Well, it's more than that. Those ones only hold like 5 butts or something.
Yeah,
Pouches actually hold a decent amount.
yeah. Like you're already. Oh man.
You have to dump it out a couple times.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely going to need to bring some more. So I'm gonna bring a lot of blankets again. That was a really great idea on my part.
Did not bring almost any blankets.
I brought a bunch of shit blankets I have in my house. Like, if my parents start like trying to throw out blankets because I still live with my family, I'm like, no. Like, I'll take whatever they're throwing out now. I'm like basically stocking myself up for when I move out, so I'm like set for everything in my house. But I would take all their shit blankets to Folk Fest. Even like the one I brought to Folk Fest last year was originally a shit blanket, the one with all the flowers and it was like super bright and pink.
I don't remember that one.
That was the one where I was walking around like some of the days of pretty much half of Folk Fest.
Okay.
I was
that,
walking
like, at
around with
night
that.
mostly.
mostly at
Okay,
night
yeah,
when the
I remember
partying
that
really
one then.
started, and I really just felt like I needed to grip something. I would
Just
walk
need
around
to be
with like,
nice and warm in a towel.
yeah, I'd walk around with my blanket and just. I remember getting a couple comments, like people would be like, "Oh, nice blanket," but like clearly they're making fun of me because it's a girl blanket, so clear. It's all pink and like yellow and like lime green, but it's all flower power and shit. I would just wrap it around me. I'd feel so good, and I like this first night especially because at Folk Fest, if you plan on sleeping, you better be a fucking heavy sleeper. Because all night there's going to be a drum circle going on down on Pope's Hill, where it's about what I've seen from like 3 to 8 people the year I was there, all at once with bongos or whatever types of
Oh yeah,
drums.
like especially the first night. That's when they start.
Yeah, the
The
first night is
entire
when I
night
brought
they're
my
going.
blanket there and I started to do some Indian circle dancing, and it just felt so right. It felt
Oh yeah.
so right.
Well, apparently, this year, a couple people, like some of Chanel's friends, like her friend and her boyfriend, he brings drums every year at the Folk Fest, apparently. And
Okay.
he taught her how to drum and stuff, so apparently they're going to be drumming away at Folk Fest.
Okay. And
Yeah.
for all you listeners out there, Chanel is Brent's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a little bit of mass confusion because a lot of the names being popped up.
Oh, sorry.
A lot of people aren't going to know unless, well, actually, you know, likely a lot of the people are going to be people we know.
Exactly.
At first, anyways,
At
unless
first,
unless the word somehow gets spread. Tell your friends, people.
yeah.
Purple City Podcast. Oh, quick little backstory on this while we're here. Purple City, some people may be confused by the title, like thinking, well, what is Purple City all about? Well, here's a little story of Purple City. I have a close friend. His name is Brock Peters. This guy I was hanging out at his place, and he was, you know, he likes his good rap music. He's the one who shows me a lot of it, gets me into it. This guy's playing this song. It's just called, I can't remember the chorus anyways, and the title of the song was like Purple City Bird Gang. And I'm like, wow, this like it just seems so catchy at the time, hearing Purple City Bird Gang, Purple City Bird Gang, and it just kind of stuck in my head. And then and then somehow I was like Purple City Podcast, and just because it just sounded so cool. Came to work because me and Brent here, we also work together at a little paint store called Sherwin-Williams. Came into work to grab some coffee on my way before school. Kind of mentioned this to you, and you said, "Oh yeah, Purple City, like at the legislative building."
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Winnipeg when you first said that.
I had no idea. To tell the audience about what exactly Purple City is.
Well, there's certain lights around the city, apparently. I only knew about the legislative building, but, like, our manager at Sherwin said some other places too have these.
Mm-hmm.
But there were, like, heavy-duty lights that if you stare into for a couple minutes, or, like, not really, you don't want to be looking at it for too long, because probably kills your eyes. But, yeah, you look at it, and then it gives you a purplish tint when you look away.
So then the world sort of becomes like a purple city. Oh yeah.
So yeah, you were just roaming in the Purple City after that.
So when you said that, just like blew up in my mind like, oh my god, these are the fates lining up together. Just I'm at Brock's, I hear this Purple City Bird Gang. I'm like, oh, Purple City Podcast kind of sounds cool. And then you're there telling me Purple City is actually a freaking name for Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Just perfect thing. And the best part about this audience, PCP.
Yeah, it's a very catchy name.
It stands like the letter acronym, whatever you would call that thing.
Yeah.
PCP. It's just, oh fuck yes.
It just works so good.
Yeah. What else do I need for Folk Fest? Are you still planning on making any homemade tie-dye shirts?
I would like to, but I don't know yet. It takes it took a couple days, almost a week, the first time I made them.
Really?
To dry, because, yeah, well, you leave them out so they dry, like, by himself all wrapped up.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. But after that, you also have to wash them a certain way, or at least we did, because apparently it holds the color better and they don't fade. Like, my shirts, they haven't really faded at all, and I've had them for almost 3 years now.
Wait, you have some that are homemade?
All my tie-dye shirts are homemade.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Those are nice tie-dye shirts. I always assumed those were bought tie-dye shirts.
Oh, no. Why would I buy... First year I went to Folk Fest, I had 5 tie-dye shirts, one for each day, that I made myself. Isn't that...
I'm guilty of that as well, though, planning out my Folk Fest shirts last year.
I didn't plan it out.
Oh, you didn't plan it out.
I made them, and then later I was just looking, I'm like, wow, I got 5 tie-dye shirts. There's 5 days in Folk Fest.
Yeah, last year I planned out mine. I was looking at my shirts, and I'm like, which are the most psychedelic possible shirts I can wear? I got my watermelon tie-dye, got my Doors t-shirt. What else? I'm pretty sure I brought 2 Doors t-shirts, because, you know, it's the Doors. You gotta fucking represent Jim, man. I definitely had my Grateful Dead t-shirt, which I wore my first day. Got a lot of comments on Grateful Dead. I don't know, everywhere I go, if I have a Grateful Dead shirt, well, not everywhere, but places where, like, you're gonna find a lot of degenerates and deadheads, you know. Those people, like, they always comment, especially, like, last concert we went to, Unknown Motor Orchestra. When I went outside to have a cigarette on the way, there's a group of 3 people. They're like, Grateful Dead! They're talking about my shirt, like, oh yeah, the teddy bear symbol representing Jerry. And then before Ryan Mayoni too, he was coming up to us. He mentioned my Grateful Dead t-shirt, which then led to him showing me some cover songs that this band was doing of Grateful Dead Shakedown Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
The band was a bit misleading, but it wasn't the worst show.
Yeah. Do not class yourself as a psychedelic rock band if you're gonna go out and play a bunch of pop music that is some, like, Virgin Radio type type just garbage.
They could have added a couple more lyrics then.
Yeah, and then Ryan was trying to tell me, like, the album's about, like, some open marriage, 3-way marriage this guy's got going.
See, that sounds sick, but
they definitely did not project that at all onto the audience. They seemed like almost like a One Direction type band, but with a lot of edge on them. Like they're a lot of rock and roll, but you know that kind of vibe.
Yeah, they were like a softer band.
I was getting a boy band vibe from them, but yet they have the, like, most trippy artwork. I was so close to buying a poster of theirs. If it was $20 and they were an incredible band, I would have bought one.
Oh, well, $20 is such a good price for a t-shirt.
Like no. I'm talking about posters. Did I say t-shirt?
Oh, no, yeah, you said posters. For some reason, I started thinking t-shirts.
I don't know. Okay, well, either way. Yeah, they're...
Wait, you might have said t-shirt this second. I don't know.
I don't know anymore.
Who cares?
Whatever. We've gone too far. So what do we got so far? We got, for food, yeah, especially, I'm not going to bring any more, going back to the food, I'm not going to bring any hot dogs again, because last year...
if we have a fire pit, it's kind of worth it. Are you bringing a cooler? Because this year I might actually buy ice.
I don't think I'm bringing a cooler. I'm going to go all dry food. I don't need that hassle.
That's a bad choice.
Because I'm worried about being so far from everybody, where, like, my tent is basically just going to be a sleeping tent. Like, I'm going to just roam Folk Fest. Like, that's just, like, from how it sounds, like, how everyone else I know is planning it this year. Like, how everyone wants to kind of be hidden and shit.
Well, yeah.
Which is, like, it's good reason. I do not blame everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, for me, that just means, like, because I'm usually the kind of guy that roams around. I'm by myself all the time. So I just kind of join shit. But fucking, yeah, so I'm probably just got my own tent hidden off somewhere or, like, wherever the fuck I can put it.
Yeah? Well, you kind of want to, remember, you want to get, like, close to the trees or in the trees.
I kind of want to get on the...
If you don't have the shade, if you don't have shade, it's impossible to sleep.
Well, that's why I kind of want to get on the west side of the trees so that, like, I can be behind the tree line in the shade when the sun rises. Because that was my biggest issue last year, was fucking waking up at, like, 2 in the afternoon.
2 in the afternoon?
Covered in sweat. Covered in sweat, and you can't even breathe, you can't sleep anymore.
Like, I could not sleep past 10 or 11, and I'd have to take a nap in the evening, just because any time between there, it was just too hot in the tent. I couldn't stand it. I don't know how, like, you or Brock actually slept in the tents.
Well, half of my sleeping was also done sitting up in a chair in the screen mesh part of yours and Brock's tent.
Yeah.
You guys would go out for like a little trip together. You guys would go searching, go on the night. Brock would be like, Jonah, just hold it down, hold the tent down. I'd sit down there and I'd be like, okay. I'd only be allowed to let Brandon in. I'd be like, okay, Brandon, come on in. Brandon would sit in there with me, and then I'd see people I like T Brown, who was my first time meeting him at Bugfest. I meet T Brown. I'm like, okay, I really like this guy. He's funny, singing some Sublime songs. See him, but like me being such a nice guy, I don't wanna let down Brock, but I don't want to tell T Brown he can't come in either. But I am kind of in charge of like the front half of the screen meshed in tent while you guys are absent. So I'm sitting there going, okay, T Brown, well, okay, this is what's gonna happen. You could put your legs in the tent, but the rest of you's got to be on the outside of the tent. And this guy didn't give a fuck. He just put his fucking legs in there and then closed the zipper down to his legs and just like halfway sat in there. And then I would just wake up like the next day like, oh god, like everyone's gone sleeping. Nick Cahooch is like, yeah man, I was like came and sat here with you for like about an hour at 10 o'clock. You didn't really wake up or anything, but I sat next to you. I'm like, okay, all right then. All right, far out. Now that you got your fix of PCP, what you gonna do until the next? Well, if it's any suggestion, just keep the positive vibes flowing, feed your heads, and just stay groovy, man. I love you all. Happy trails, everybody. Till next time.